The next one's power and quotient rules with negative exponents, problem type 2. Again, if I have a negative on the outside of my parentheses, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that negative first by doing the reciprocal of the base. So I'm going to make this 10x to the negative 6, y to the negative 4th, z to the negative 3rd, over 6x to the 6th, y squared, z to the negative 9. Now, this is going to be to the first power, so I really don't need to write it to the first power. If it was squared, I'd have to do the squaring, but since it's to the first, I don't have to do anything with that. Again, on this one, I've got some exponents that are negative, so I can go ahead and get rid of my negative exponents first. The 10 and the 6 are going to stay where they are. I'm going to move that x to the 6th down on the bottom. That x to the 6th is going to stay where it is. I'm going to move the y to the 4th to the bottom. The y squared is going to stay where it is. I'm going to move the z to the 3rd to the bottom. And I'm going to move the z to the 9th to the top. So, simplifying that mess, the 10 and the 6 I can reduce down. That would be 5/3. Here I'm going to have x to the 12th. Whoops, I'm trying to write my 12 before I write my x. X to the 12th. Here I'm going to have y to the 6th. And on my z's, I can cancel out 3 of them, so a z to the 6th on the top. So I'm going to have 5z to the 6th over 3x to the 12th, y to the 6th. Still trying to write that 12. 3x to the 12th, y to the 6th. Now keep in mind there are other orders and things you can do and solve it and still get the same answer as long as you're doing it mathematically correct. It really doesn't matter which order you do it in. I'm just doing it in the method I prefer just to keep everything straight so I remember what should I do first. So on this one, there is no negative on the outside. It's a positive 2 exponent. So I'm going to worry about the negatives on the inside. So on the inside, the a to the 3rd is going to move to the bottom. The b to the 5th is going to stay up on top. C to the 4th is going to stay on top. I didn't leave myself enough room. The b squared and the c to the 4th is going to move up onto the top. So simplifying what's inside my parentheses, I have b to the 7th, c to the 8th, over a to the 3rd, and I want to square that. So squaring that using my power rule, I multiply my exponents. I get b to the 14th, c to the 16th, and a to the over a to the 6th. (21), if you look at that one, has a negative on the outside. So I'm going to get rid of the negative on the outside of the parenthesis first by doing the reciprocal. b a to the 3rd over 4a b to the 4th, and that makes my exponent positive. There are no negatives on the inside to get rid of. I can simplify on the inside first, or I can do my power rule first. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to go ahead and simplify first. So one of my b's will cancel out. I'll get b to the 3rd. One of my a's will cancel out. I'll get a squared. So I have a squared over 4b cubed, all raised to the 3rd power. If I follow my power rule, I can go ahead and cube everything. So I'm going to have a to the 6th, 4 cubed, 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. And then b to the 9th. So I get a to the 6th over 64, b to the 9th.